Well, I tried to do a countdown. I don't think it works. So now we're here. Yeah, I'm just getting this shared out, and then we will hit the road. We got a big one today, guys. We got the Rams and the Lions. This one, we've been looking forward to this one for quite some time, actually. This trade happened. Rams and Lions trade happened before the Super Bowl even happened. So this is some pretty exciting stuff. I know, like, I've been excited for this game. I know most of you guys have been excited for this game. And we are going to be talking a little bit about the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford storyline. And we're beating that into the ground this weekend for sure. But what's fun about that matchup is, well, I mean, all of it's fun about that matchup, to be completely honest with you guys. But I realize that people are on both sides of it. People are on the, hey, we want Jared to do well. He did a lot for the LA Rams. And we have people on the side that are, screw Jared Goff. He's no longer a Ram. Let's move on. Matthew Stafford's our guy. I'm somewhere in the middle myself of, you know what, Jared Goff did some awesome stuff as a Ram, but he's no longer a Ram. So he's also today, he's our enemy. So he's our biggest foe. So I'm really hoping that we absolutely smoke the Detroit Lions, and I don't want Jared Goff to do anything good today. That's where I'm at with it myself. I realize that that's not how everybody's mindset is with it. I know that a lot of people will have the mindset of like, hey, we hope he does well and stuff like that. And hey, I hope he does well every other game. But today, I hope he is awful, and I hope we absolutely destroy his life. What's up, Adam? Good luck to your boys today. You guys got an easy one, I guess you should say. But I actually have, if the Dolphins can pull this one off, and then if the Rams and Cardinals can both cover, I win a pretty sweet parlay. So hopefully that can happen. Want them to smoke the Lions. Babe, same, dude. Same. I feel good about this game. I will kind of talk about it here once I get into the car about how I believe this game will go, and kind of I'll reference some of the trap game comments that have been coming in from a lot of people. Sees the stories on Goff and McVay. I've seen a lot on Goff and McVay this week. So maybe if you want to be more specific, but I've seen a lot of stuff. I know that Jared Goff has kind of, I guess, frustrated me this week. Let's go ahead and get out of here. All right. Heyo's in the house. What up, Heyo? I don't know why I get quieter when I go outside. Is that weird? I think so. Doesn't matter. All right. Whew. A little warm today, guys. A little warm. Let's see what my car says it is, but let's get you guys set up here first. Boom. All right. That so we don't die. I don't know how loud this is. Not bad. We're listening to Tesla. We're definitely going to need some AC today as I try to get these good. All right. Well, let's go more this way. Oh. All right. Let's go. All right. Yes, AC, actually, before we hit the road. Cool. All right. Let's check a couple comments here before we bounce. Score prediction. I'm going big in this one, guys. I'll let you guys know mine right away. You guys can feel free to drop yours in the comment section below. But I'm going big in this one. I'm going 44-9. I think that the Rams go big in this one. Talking about how Goff hung up on McVay when the trade went down, that they accidentally went to the same restaurant. That's pretty funny. I didn't know about the restaurant stuff. Hearing that that Jared Goff hung up on Sean McVay, though, I just think that showed a lack of maturity on Goff's part. I realize that he wasn't happy with what happened and all that stuff, but I just that kind of stuff is really immature to hang up on somebody in any situation, honestly. Like even if it's like a personal thing or whatever, I think it's like a super immature thing to do to somebody is hang up on them. And honestly, I mean the whole trade. I forgot my Wi-Fi again, guys. Sorry about that. But the whole stuff with the trade that went down, where like Goff felt disrespected because he wasn't called and stuff like that. Like the further you get into that story, the more you realize that like I mean, that wasn't going to happen. I mean, the way that the speed of how the trade was going and the phone calls that were happening and the situations that everybody involved was in, it makes perfect sense that they weren't it wasn't at the forefront of their mind to be like, oh, we need to call Jared real fast. Like they were in a hurry to get stuff done. They knew that multiple teams were in on that. And I'm really sick of the needing to babysit the emotions of other people. Like I'm not about that life. I know like I come off as a jerk when I talk about stuff like that a lot, but like it is not like because something I said offends you, that's a you problem, you know what I mean? Like that's how is that my fault, So like it's not my job to control your emotions for you. And I feel that way a lot in this situation where Jared Goff, maybe he got his feelings hurt a little bit, but I mean, we're trying to win football games here. And fact is he was not getting it done, and he was holding the Rams back last year. The Rams had a very good season. We were able to win double-digit games last year and won a road playoff game with Jared Goff. And none of that, like none of my comments here are to say that like Jared Goff didn't do anything for the Rams or his time with the Rams wasn't valuable, anything like that. But the fact is that late in his time with the Rams, he was holding the team back. And this game is about winning. And when you have a coach like Sean McVay, who's super pro player, and he starts to get frustrated at the quarterback position because the production is just not there. I mean, how are you going to be that upset that we didn't call you first when that's the situation? It's all about winning, and we all felt like the quarterback was holding us back a little bit last year. So I started saying that even while he was here, that Goff was like, because I was a big Goff supporter. And if you guys have watched Ram Showcase for years, you guys know that. And I like Jared Goff, and I wish him all the best for sure. But for him to get like his feelings that hurt about us not giving him a phone call, I don't know. That's not that's going too many levels deep. You know what I mean? So I just think that Jared Goff. I mean, if you would have played better for the Rams, I guess I don't know. It's one of those. So in this game, also, I mean, we'll look at the other side of it, which is the Matthew Stafford side. He gets to play against a team that he felt was holding him back for 12 years. And like it's an opposite situation. The Rams felt like they were being held back by their quarterback last year, and Matthew Stafford felt like he was being held back by his team last year. So those swap, and you see what's happening. You got a 5-1 team going against an 0-6 team. So yeah, that checks out. All of it checks out. That a team that was holding their quarterback back now has a quarterback who is holding his team back, and we're seeing that reflected in their records. That's how you come to a Week 7 game with an 0-6 team facing off against a 5-1 team. It just So I don't know. It's the emotions about it are not at the forefront of my mind, I guess. So it's like Rams House says, the NFL is a business. Ultimately that's what it is. It's all about making money. That's why NFL Europe doesn't exist anymore. It's why any decision in the NFL is made. It's about money. It's about trying to make it more family friendly, to make it so other people want to watch, not just the hardcore fans. It's all of that stuff. It's all about money, and also winning makes you more money. So if you feel like your quarterback's holding you back, you want to get extra home games in the playoffs or anything like that, but you feel like you can't do that because of your quarterback, you make a move and you do that. And that's what the Rams did. There was like the story of Stan Kroenke who was like about to be on a plane, and so they weren't going to be able to talk because he was going to be taking off. And so they were like calling him and trying to get everything going. And there wasn't no point in that hurry up situation where they were like, hold on a second. We need to make sure that Jared doesn't get his feelings hurt about this. We should call him real fast. And then after the trade happens, that Jared Goff hangs up on Sean McVay I don't know. I love what Jared Goff did for the Rams. I loved his time with the Rams. I really did. I was a big supporter of Goff. I wanted Jared Goff over Carson Wentz in 2016. Um, yeah, I'll get to a light here. I'll be able to read some more comments. He was scared in the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl loss doesn't fully go on Jared Goff. A big part of that does go on Sean McVay as well because of the game plan that the Rams had. It was not an ideal game plan to go against the Patriots in that game, especially with that front that they were deploying on us. It was just really hard to tell who was coming, who was not coming, and when you have a quarterback who needs his coach to tell him everything that he's seeing, then I mean that's a very difficult thing to overcome in a game, especially when you're trying to do it on the fly, like in the Super Bowl where we didn't know that they were going to come out like that. So it's just difficult. But when you have a guy with a little bit more experience, in Matthew Stafford, I think that kind of situation, like while it may have been an adjustment period in the game, then it could have. I don't know. I think that Stafford may have been able to adjust a little bit easier. Let's just not talk about the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't like to talk about that one. It was a rough day. Rough day. Got absolutely hammered that day for sure. We had a keg and everything though. We went pretty big for that one, but for this game, I mean, there's not just that story. There's not just Goff and Stafford. That is the bulk of it, and that is, of course, the bulk of what we will discuss. And if you guys got questions, feel free to drop them. But I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Like, obviously, Sean McVay wants to show everybody, not just Jared Goff. He's not just trying to like attack Jared Goff. I think he's trying to show the world like this is why we moved on from Jared Goff, and I think that's something that we'll do in this game. And also, then you have Matthew Stafford, who's going to want to show this is why I wanted out of Detroit. And then you got Jared Goff, who's I think if there's a party in this who is going to let those emotions get to him, I think it would be Goff. Just because he's the one that is coming out saying like, "Oh, they didn't call me," it's like, yeah, I felt disrespected, and that's all comments that he made this week. And so I think that he will have the hardest time getting his emotions in check. And on the opposite side of, I guess, all of that is us as Rams fans, who remember watching Jared Goff for the last few years as our quarterback. I've talked about this a lot, is that it always felt like when Jared Goff started the game, like his first three passes, you knew what kind of day we were going to get out of Jared Goff. If he threw the first three passes and they were all incomplete, it was like, oh, this game's going to suck. We're going to have a bad day on offense. And then if you hit Higbee on a quick little 5-yard out, and then Woods over the middle for 24 or something like that, then you're like, oh, man, we're going to beat the crap out of whoever we got. That's just kind of how it was. It was the way it felt. And so I'm interested to see that from the opposite perspective this time, is to see how Jared Goff starts and to see if it feels that same way as the opponent, because the Rams defense has also had some issues. And last week had easily our best game on defense beat up. So how much does that really tell us? How much will today really tell us? I'm not really sure. How much will next week even tell us? I don't know if it's even that much. So I think we'll have to wait until really that Titans game, and then that game against the Niners that we have after this little easy 3-game stretch to really see who this Rams team is. I talked about that as well on the show this week, is that, that game against the Arizona Cardinals does not define the Rams season. Losing to the only undefeated team in the NFL right now does not define who this Rams team is. But on the flip side of that same coin, winning these 3 games against the Giants, the Lions, and the Texans also does not define who we are, because that's something that the Rams are supposed to do. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to win games that you're supposed to win. Does that make any sense? I was trying to get to a couple comments here. Will Brockers get a sack? I don't know, man. Stafford's been not sacked a lot. So I think Brockers will be pumped and ready to go after Stafford, but I don't know if he gets in there. And the Rams offensive line's playing some good ball lately. I know I'm missing like a bunch of comments here, guys, but I'm also trying not to kill myself while driving. Wait, let's see. Effed up my favorite back, Eric Dickerson, when we had to play him on the Colts. Oh, yeah, that's I mean that's an aspect that you can look at is saying that like Goff will be definitely up for this game. Jared Goff has only ever lost 2 games at SoFi Stadium, and they were both the same score, 20-23, that he lost those games. So he's never been absolutely smoked at SoFi. So I'm hoping that happens today, because I'm definitely on that side, guys. I don't care that like I what he did for the Rams. I mean, what does that do for us today? It doesn't help anything today. So like, and he's our opponent, and I am first a Rams fan, and I want the Rams to do well. If that means Jared Goff playing poorly, that means Jared Goff playing poorly. That won't hurt my feelings at all. Let's see here. Do you think Matthew Stafford is a franchise quarterback for the Rams? I think he already is. I think that you can already say he's talent-wise, he's one of the better quarterbacks that the Rams have ever had. I mean, you can. It's hard because we're only going to have him for so long. Like he's already 33. So, I mean, I've been telling everybody if we can get 5 years out of Stafford, then I think that that's a win. But I think this team is very much like let's win right now. Like what do those draft picks do for us today? Those future draft picks. Like what does our 2023 first round pick do for us today? Nothing. So let's get rid of it and try to win some games. You can always recoup those later. And especially if you're trading away ones and they're in your winning playoff games, then those ones are in the 20s, the late 20s, stuff like that. So the value of those drops dramatically because I think for my own opinions here is that sorry, we're going very slow. For my own opinions here, like the first 12 picks in the first round, those are the really important ones. After that, the value drops dramatically. Oh, bouncing all over here. Goff will have 4 turnovers today. I mean, I think that we get to Goff a lot, and I think that I have in one of my sweet parlays, I've got the Rams defense scoring a touchdown because I feel like Goff throwing a pick six or getting strip sacked and somebody taking one to the crib, I think just makes sense. Do you have a Tesla? Just put it on. I do not have a Tesla. I wish I had a Tesla. Those things are sick. I just got this car not that long ago, just a couple months ago though. I like this one. Probably the nicest car I've ever owned. I like it. It's fun. Don't I have Tesla? That's the way that the question was worded. First of all, I appreciate that my personality puts off that I have a Tesla. That's awesome. I think Goff will try to do too much too, Josh. I think that he's going to be in a weird headspace coming back to SoFi Stadium and against against Sean McVay. I just want to go at least the speed limit. I don't think that's too much to ask. Too late. Let's go. Not the school. But make sure you guys drop your score predictions. I'm going big in this one. I think the Rams show out. I think it's going to be 44-9. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about earlier. I hear a lot of people reference trap game for this one, and the example that people are using for this game as far as the trap game goes is last year against the Jets. I think that those 2 games, the last year against the New York Jets and this year against the Detroit Lions, I realize what you guys are saying. Rams, good team, playing against a poor team, might overlook them. I get that aspect of it. I think that they're extremely unrelated, though, because last year you look at the New York Jets game, late season, the Rams had already pretty much locked in everything. They were good to go. Like, we're going to playoffs kind of thing. And the week after that, we had a division opponent. And this one here, it's early enough in the season. We're second in the division, so we're not winning the division right now. And we need to try to keep the pace there. And then also you have Matthew Stafford playing against his former team, so he's not overlooking this game. You have Sean McVay playing against his former quarterback, so he's not overlooking this game. You have this Rams defense who is not going to want to let Jared Goff light him up in any capacity. So I don't see these being related at all. I think that the trap game aspect of this matchup doesn't exist, because when you look at a trap game, like the Comet trap game, what you're looking at there is that the next opponent is maybe a big one. Maybe you got a big game again, and then this week you're playing against a lesser opponent who you're kind of overlooking a little bit, where you're just looking at the next week, and you're looking like, next week we'll play the Texans. That's not a thing that's happening right now. The Rams are not all looking at the Texans like, oh man, what are we going to do next week? We got Houston. We're in Houston. What are we going to do? That's not the way that any of this is going. Like, that's no conversations are like that. You got what I believe the Rams defense will be super locked in. You've got gonna go. You can't break if you're trying to merge. That's day one. But then you have Matthew Stafford going against his former team. Sean McVay is not going to want to let Jared Goff rip up his team, So I just don't see this being a trap game. I think that is. I think it's just people trying to get clicks. Anytime anybody says that this is a story, like this is a trap game, the trap game storyline in this one makes no sense to me at all. I don't see it being a trap game. None of the definition of trap game falls for this matchup, if that makes any sense. Josh says 41-0, dude, and that makes sense. And hey, I could be wrong. You never know. You never know if Jared Goff is going to be like super zoned in and just absolutely light the Rams up. That's possible. I mean, it's the NFL. Anything can happen, but I think that there's so many emotions involved in this game. Like, you can look at an 0-6 Lions team playing at the 5-1 LA Rams, and you can say that yo, the Rams are just a better team and all that. And yeah, you're right there. But then you also have the emotions, which is very difficult for the Rams or for any fan to really truly understand what is happening inside those locker rooms right now. Like, we're about 30 minutes away from game time. What is going on in those locker rooms right now? Is Jared Goff sitting there at SoFi Stadium super nervous and super jittery, or is he zoned in? Is Sean McVay sitting there going, I don't care what we got to do. Let's light him up. Let's, we'll do this. Is Stafford sitting there? Is Stafford getting all jittery because this is the first time he's played against the Detroit Lions? Is the Rams defense, are they too relaxed, thinking that Jared Goff is going to be an easy game to play against? Those are all the aspects of this game that we can't know right now. We'll have to wait until the game starts. But I think that I think that the Rams will be a little bit more zoned in than the Lions will be. For the Lions, this is just this is a game against Matthew Stafford. That's all it is a game against Matthew Stafford. That's their storyline. For the Rams, we want to show that Jared Goff was worth moving off of, and that Matthew Stafford's now our guy, and that Jared Goff was holding us back. And I think that the Rams defense is going to want to show this is what happens when you play against a defense that comes after you. This is I see all of that stuff being very realistic. Is the Rams in a really good spot to just wreck the soul of the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything, feel free to drop them. I know I've kind of been not seeing all of them. Do I think Aaron Donald will stay with the Rams throughout his career? I do, actually. I think I don't know if Aaron Donald would want to leave, especially if every year we can keep doing this. If every year the Rams can at least be a playoff team, then I don't think that that Aaron Donald will want to leave. If the Rams end up falling off, and he's also already 30, that's something to keep an eye on too. I mean, how long do defensive linemen play? I mean, we could probably get another 6, 7, 8 out of them, but much more than that would be, I think, very tough. And he's already talked about that he's starting to feel it in his body. He's only 30 now. Like, when I talk about Aaron Donald is 30, he's only 30. We still got plenty of good years out of him. When I talk about myself being 30, it's pretty much it. It's over. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's I think that Aaron Donald will stick around, because this Rams team is a playoff team what feels like every year. I mean, the 1 year under Sean McVay that the Rams did not make the playoffs, they were still 9-7, one game off. So they were right in there in the conversations, and that just felt like a weird year. 2019, it was just coming off that Super Bowl. It was just not an ideal year for the Rams. Just felt a little felt tired, if that makes sense. Just Rams team just felt sleepy. What up, Danny? Welcome on in. You guys got score predictions? Drop them. I'm going 44-9. I'm going big time in this one because these LA Rams need to beat up on some Detroit Lions, I think. Which is going to be fun stuff. I'm so hungry right now, guys. Woo! Oh, I'm hungry. I need some beers. I need some food. Ready for it. Ready. I'm ready for this game, man. I've been so excited for this game ever since this trade happened. I knew this game was going to happen. We know most of our opponents ahead of time, you know. So once this trade happened, it was like, all right, Jared Goff coming back to LA. And then when we traded Brockers too, it was like, all right, well, that's going to be an awkward conversation between those two, but ready to see him again. Brock is cool, man. I have no issues with Brock. No issues with Goff, but I hope neither of them play well today. I hope no Lions play well today. There was like a few years back, I was at the bar that I'm going to now, Kelly O'Brien's, Colorado Springs. It was one of the things that made me hate fantasy football. This Rams fan came in. I'd never seen him before. He comes in and he says, I've seen want the Rams to win, but I hope Larry Fitzgerald puts up a few scores or whatever. And it made me mad right away because we were playing against the Cardinals, and I was like, oh, Larry Fitzgerald sucks today. So, yeah, I just told him that. I was like, I hope he fails miserably. It's like, I think you made a bad call starting him because he's playing against the Rams, and I think they won that day, but yeah, I don't care for the opponents to do well at all. I don't care about your fantasy football team. I don't care if you started I don't care at all. But yeah, he came in and said that stuff, and it was kind of like I love Larry Fitzgerald. Always have. I think he's cool. Every time he plays the Rams, I hope he sucks hard. Oh man, dude, I'm with you there, Josh. I'm gonna have to do the test once I get out to LA for that Jags game. Just hoping I don't run into any complications with that. Seems like the whole universe is trying to get me not to be at this Jags game. My tickets are through Southwest. I don't have the vaccination. I support whatever decision you guys make. If you guys are getting the vaccine, that's awesome. Do your thing. If you guys are not, that's awesome as well. I support individual choices. And it's not a political statement at all. I just think that people should be allowed to do whatever the hell they want to do. And that's all. So, but for the game, at least you can get the test, the negative test, and be good to go. So that's my plan. But yeah, I just support everybody's ability to make their own decisions. I don't think that you should be told what to do in everything. Obviously, there's some situations where you do need to be told what to do, but not this one. Pro or against, do your thing. I support you. But yeah, I'm hungry, guys. It's a problem. I ate way too long ago. I wake up way too early in the morning, so I ate like first thing when I woke up because I was really hungry, and then I did not eat since. Is there anything crazy going on in the games that I'm not paying attention to right now because I'm driving and talking to you guys? I drive to a bar in Colorado Springs, Colorado that is called Kelly O'Brien's. I started watching football there in 2010. It was Sam Bradford's rookie season that I started watching football at Kelly's, and I'm still going there now. It's an awesome place. It's cheap. You can get like a pretty good buzz going and some food into your soul for like $25, which I mean is good. They got the mini pitchers. I don't use the glass for the mini pitchers. You know, cut out the middleman. I just drink it straight from the pitcher. But they're minis, so it's like I don't know. It's like a stein. It's like a pitcher shaped stein. We are gonna bring back giveaways on this, by the way. We're gonna bring those back to our pregame lives. We've been doing the giveaways on the full version of the podcast, but my answers have been dwindling down. So we will, we'll kind of see, we'll gauge it to see how many answers we're getting and stuff like that. But if we end up getting too low on the answers, we are going to pull off completely on those. Not 100%. We'll still do them, but we'll have to not do them weekly, just because if the same 4 people are answering every single one and they're just winning over and over and over again, it's less fun that way. So there's more people than 4 that enter, but that's just an example. But like, we just got to keep it thrilling, Ooh, there's parking in front even. Sick. And we'll still park it back. Oof. These Chiefs fans go big, huh? All right. I don't know what to do this. Where do I want to put myself? And I'm actually going to get out of here pretty quick, guys, because I am hungry. I need some food. I feel like Tyrese is too fast, too furious right now, man. That was that was a weird reference, huh? Somebody asked me, they're like, "What's always jingling?" It's my sheriff badge. I'm trying to get it out of. Yeah, there you go. Oh, there you go. Sheriff Joe. One of my old coworkers gave that to me. Mahomes hurt. Woo! Woo! I'm glad I picked the Titans today. What about? Oh, yeah, give me this one, guys. How's Miami Atlanta? Because my other ones were going well, but if Miami can beat Atlanta and then the Rams and Cardinals both cover, I win a sick parlay. I want that one, and then my homies just showed up, so I'll get out. Somebody tell me. Tell me. Hungry. Does nobody know? It's okay if you don't know. It's okay. All right, guys. I need some food into my soul. So Falcons winning. Stupid Falcons. All right, guys. We got some Rams fans showing up here, so I'm gonna hop on out of here. But thanks for kicking it. And Rams about to beat up on 27-14. Okay. Dang it, man. I took money line on that one. So, but hop out of here, guys. We got Jared Goff coming to town today. Should be a good one. This Rams defense is gonna want to beat him up. So should be good, man. We'll see him on the opposite sideline for the first time. So let's go Rams, huh? Let's go Rams. Later, Nathan and Nathaniel.